this is a feature called Ed Plays Indie Speedrun Games. You might notice a slightly lower than usual production value in this video. That's because my computer sort of broke, so I'm on my backup computer, which doesn't have all my video editing software. I'm sure it won't detract from the high quality, what's it called, journalism. I'm going to pick out top 5 games of the Indie Speed Run. Let's get rid of my expert title sequence and bring up my screen so that you can see what I'm doing. So I'll start with an honourable mention, and this first honourable mention is Beautiful Cowboy by XMPT Games. This is an honourable mention because I helped make it, and I think it would be a bit biased to include it in the top 5. So obviously, although I do think it's excellent, I'm going to only feature it as an honourable mention. So, in Beautiful Cowboy, our theme was beauty and our element was cowboy, which we chose to interpret as part cow, part boy. You're this dashing, handsome fella who is engaged to marry a princess, and a fancy dress party is thrown to celebrate this fact. At the fancy dress party, you rudely insult a witch who you think is in costume, but actually she is an ugly, stinky witch, and she curses you, turning you into a hideous part cow, part boy creature. It's a tactical sneak 'em up with puzzle elements to it, and your job is to sneak through levels, get past the guards without being detected, and make your way from the start to the end. Here is our beautiful cowboy wandering around, and you can see he's pretty hideous. You can pick up these water bottles, and that meter up in the top left hand side of the screen fills up. This is useful for various things. So the water allows you to turn temporarily human and handsome again, and that stops you being detected by guards, and it can also be used for things like mirrors, because whilst in his cowboy form, he's so repulsed by his own reflection that he won't go towards the mirror. So he can get past that by turning beautiful. Oh, look at how handsome he is. Walking towards the mirror, and there we go. And when I change back, plays me a very long moo. Like any good stealth game, the guards are ridiculously dumb, so I can sneak past that guy just by timing my movement right, and he can only see things that are in his line of sight. So even though he patrols up and pretty much fondles my arse there, he won't detect me. So if I am behind this crate of bananas, I'm of course totally disguised from that guard's view. In other levels we have picket fences which obscure the guard's views, which of course is, you know, classic stealth gameplay, and we also have here a demonstration that shadows keep you hidden from guards. The last thing I'm going to do is just what happens when you get caught. Oi! There we go, guard spotted me and he runs and catches me. You can reset the level and give it another go. Honourable mention, Beautiful Cowboy. Now for the countdown of the top 5. I want to make sure this is suitably epic. So, here we go. Number 5. Pretty epic, I think you'll agree. At number 5 is... Oh, good grief. That's the name of the game, by the way. That was a pun. I've accidentally failed to restart the game. So, this game is called Grief, and it's my number 5. This game had the theme of captivity and the element of hippopotamus. Hippos and gnomes were particularly popular with the creators, so you'll see a lot of them. So in this game, you play a man with a cow's skull for a head. Why not? And the whole game is pretty short, and it's basically a tutorial. So there are overlays which are kind of like a tutorial telling you how to play the game, but they're also sort of meant to be like your mate who's played the game before and is trying to tell you how to play it, but actually he doesn't remember it right. So a lot of the things he tells you aren't actually true. Here he tells you to jump over this spot. I think he's full of crap. He didn't tell me the right thing last time, and I get killed. And when you die from an obstacle, you just go back to right before the obstacle. So this is why you'll probably play through it once, you might die on some of the obstacles, but you'll then realise, you know, I had to do the other one of 2 things there, and there's not really much kind of scope for wanting to go back and play it again. I'm just going to play it up to my favourite bit of it that I think is the cleverest bit of the game. Okay, so there's a car here for you to jump over. One slightly annoying thing is that when I'm trying to rush through it, the dialogue doesn't keep up with me. So it's still whittering on about the fact that I should be trying to get a secret chest. I want it to give me the dialogue for this section of the game, because this is my personal favourite bit. We'll just kill some time by looking at the pretty graphics. Just wandering around, man with a cow head. There's a chasm, jump over that. You can never go back, always onward to the left. See, that's wrong because it's always on one to the right. So this isn't working. Anyway, when you get to this chasm, if you haven't gone through the game too quickly, it tells you need to hold down R to make it over the gap. And you think, well, is R actually going to make me explode or something? When you press it, nothing bad happens, and yeah, actually it does make me dash. So it might be telling the truth at this point. I'm going to take a run up and jump for it, and it's then that you realise there was a ledge there. Sorry, this ledge here is probably better. And now your view lets you see that ledge and get down onto it. That, I think, is kind of cool. The game changes, it misleads you initially, and then there's an ever so slight shift on the viewpoint so that actually you can spot it was there all along. Number 4. My choice for number 4 is a game called Abbey Jurassic Dark. This is another very visually cool game, and it's about a little girl with a candle who is told, well, actually I can relay the story through the power of voice acting. So her dad says, take this candle, sweetie, could you get the Jurassic Dark book to me? Press W. He doesn't say that bit, that's just instructions. The Book of Monsters? They aren't monsters, they're dinosaurs, Abby. Goth dinosaurs, by the way. They have feelings, you know that. Okay, Daddy. Where is it? It's upstairs in my studio, honey bun. But I can't, Daddy. It's too dark, and... The monsters again? Come on, dearie, what does Daddy say about the monsters? The real monsters are outside making video games in 48 hours. Here is an open window which will demonstrate the mechanics to us. So your candle gets blown out, and he says, forgot to close that one. Oh my god! Okay, don't panic, baby doll. Quick, you can light another candle by writing down a red word. Matches! Jesus Christ, do it already! Matches. And so my candle was relit. So, basically, you walk around, you can pick up more candles, like so, and as you walk, the light around you gradually diminishes. You have to get past windows whilst they're closed, otherwise they blow your candle out. Light diminishes, you see these creepy little, well, it is the Cheshire Cat from Alice Madness Returns, let's be honest about it. It looks kind of cool, it creeps in all over the side of the screen, and you'll gradually I'm going to let it get darker and darker until we see more of these things appearing. And they get creepier and creepier, and you get this kind of, oh no, I need to find... There we go, oh that was creepy, he's got drool and everything. Give me some light! And you type in the word quickly, and whew, your life is saved. Number 3. Okay, number 3 is Ming Around. See, I said there were lots of gnomes. This game is really, really simple, but it's really fun. So, you control a gnome, platformy style, with WASD. I don't know if you can duck. WAD. And with your mouse, you move around this little firefly. And basically, there are things that the firefly will cause to move between two states, such as these flowers will go from furled and unfurled, and that allows the gnome to progress across the level. There are various bad things to avoid. Some of them you just jump over, and others you kind of need to work out how to use the firefly to help you. You get a little bit of variation later on, so it gets kind of tricky with you dying and turning into a ghost gnome, with you having to kind of think of the gnomes in the air, and I'm going to reposition the bug at the same time so that he lands on the right thing. You get these enemies that you need to make harmless by bugging them, and so on. So I'm not going to go any further with that game. I think that probably demonstrates it pretty effectively. It's really good fun, it's really well executed, and it's a nice, simple mechanic that makes for a very fun platformer. Number 2. And number 2 is... I kind of switched my number 1 and 2. I changed my mind on them. They're both pretty good, so these are both definitely worth a play, I reckon. My number 2 is Adam. This game is cool. So, one thing that I really like about it is that you have the ability to skip the dialogue. So because I've played this before, I can skip it. Now, I am this little spaceman guy, and this grandfather clock is my time machine. I can't use it to time travel until I've powered it up first. So what I need to do is position it down in one of the glowing areas of the screen, and then switch it on so as to initiate time travel. then my past self carries out the actions that I did. And you need to avoid touching yourself. That's a joke that the game enjoys using, and I appreciate that kind of level of humour. You need to avoid touching yourself because bad things happen if you do. The reason you've got this little heat counter up in the top right there, for some reason you need to warm up the time machine before you can use it. The sole reason for that, as far as I can see, seems to be that their theme that they were given for the competition was heat. So it's kind of tenuous that the time machine is powered by heat, but I don't really care about that because the game is really fun. And I'll just get to the next level to show you where it's going. So on this level there are 4 heat zones. There are these little holes for you to hide in. That's me messed up the level now that I've done that. But as you progress you get more heat zones. It introduces vertical variation as well as horizontal variation in the game, and it's good fun. What the number 1 game? Have I got anything more significant I can hold up? Number 1. This pencil signifies how important it is. That doesn't work. Anyway, so the number 1 game, my personal favourite that I've played so far, and I haven't played them all, and I've only been able to play the ones that I can play on my own, so the multiplayer ones I haven't considered because I've been doing it myself this evening. So, my number 1 choice is 1 by 1. This game I like a lot. So, in this game the theme is loss and the element is saddle. So, you've been trapped in a manor by a deranged psychopath. I say psychopath normally. You need to get out, and you control your main character by walking around, and you can also control your Scooby Gang by clicking on them and telling them where to move. So, the first level teaches you that you can push crates, and you can control switches which open doors, and there are also types of switches that you can switch on and off by walking into them, like so. And the aim on each level is to get you and all of your Scooby Gang into the red square. Oops. Into the red square and out. I do not want to leave myself behind. I'm crucial to this whole mission. And we've got next level, we've got 2 pressure pads, so obviously I'm going to have to use 2 of my elite operatives to open those. And I like the way that you have this creepy rocking horse on every level, and you kind of start to wonder from the beginning, what's going on with that? Why is there one single rocking horse with a golden saddle on every screen? It's pretty cool. So this level, you can press this button, and no, that's not what I want to do. I want to press this button. There we go. And this allows me to get the various members of my Scooby Gang through this door. Onwards this way. So the theme is loss, and I'm guessing that means that you're going to have to leave behind members of your party in order to progress through the game eventually. So you had that option, as you saw when I kind of messed up controlling things. You had that option of continuing on whilst leaving yourself behind, or whilst leaving a team member behind. There we go, there's a good demonstration of that. So eventually I'm guessing you will need to start leaving people behind, in which case this little ginger guy here is pretty much doomed to die first, I'm afraid. That is the end of my countdown. You are so ugly, you could be the protagonist in that awesome game, Beautiful Cowboy. Shameless plug.